Good afternoon, hello. My name is Daniel. This is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. I'm at UK Bike Fit today with Dan. And Dan, I've been waiting for this day for so long. You work with Chris Wilson Visuals, as do I, but he's on your time right now and he's behind the camera making a video for me.
Yeah.
How does that work?
And you're getting shoes.
Am I going to get an invoice or something?
Yeah.
Right. Dan, I've got a bag full of shoes. But why have I got a bag full of shoes?
I said to bring one pair.
I know, but I didn't want to miss any. I wanted to explain to you my specific problem. These are the shoes that I've been wearing training this year.
Yeah.
They haven't currently got any insoles in, but they have previously. These are the shoes I've been racing in, which are the same as the elastic laces, and I've also got some off-road shoes, which again are the same sole. But I've been getting some foot pain, and I've got no idea why I've been getting foot pain.
Have you not?
No. You told me 3 years ago.
Potentially longer.
These are too narrow for me, and they are. So, you've kindly sorted me out with some Lake shoes. Shall we get them out and have a look at what we're doing? But specifically today, you're putting me some, I forgot to bring the cleats.
I'll have to sell you some. Wait till you see the price of these.
Okay, right, fine. We're putting some cleats on the shoes in the correct position. So we're looking at how do I basically not F this up? So that's where you come into it.
Transferring that position onto some new shoes.
Correct, got it. Now, I am quite comfortable with replacing cleats on shoes, not shoes on cleats, in that I just draw around them and replace them. That's pretty straightforward. But when you start with a new pair of shoes, I've got no idea, especially when they're different shape and so on. So this is where Dan comes in. Are these clean enough to go on your desk?
I'll let you off. Those definitely aren't.
Right, so Dan, influencers call this an unboxing. It's when you get something out and you talk about it on a camera, but I don't know anything about these, other than they were in the mid-range price point because I'm an average guy with an average budget, and that's where they fall. And they don't have BOA dials, do they? Let's go on and have a look.
Go on then. So these are Lake CX21Cs, new model, lace-ups. So they've not done a lace-up shoe for a while, but this is a lace-up shoe. It's obviously a road shoe, but the last is 2 series last, so it's a wider toe box and a squarer toe box, which for your feet will suit you a lot better than those.
Yeah, so I haven't had to have a wide fit. No. But the standard fit is 7mm wider than my current shoes, which is wide enough for me. Laces, I couldn't believe it how much you told me that BOA charged shoe manufacturers to put BOAs on shoes.
Yeah. It's like 20 quid a BOA.
A BOA? That's nuts. That explains why lace-up shoes often come up cheaper. And I prefer laces, to be honest. I think they look cool. Dan Bigham reckons they're more aero.
Yeah, I have ridden lace-up shoes, and I struggle with not being able to tighten the shoe on the fly.
Ready for the sprint.
And ready for the sprint. And laces, they're slightly stretchy compared to a BOA cable, so I'm not a fan of the feeling of the shoe. They're comfortable, really comfortable, but when you're wanting to adjust the shoe on the fly, BOAs are more practical, but yes, they're more aero, they're more comfy, and you can adjust the fit.
Yeah, and I'm coming from crippling foot pain after 4 hours on the bike, so anything's going to feel better.
These are going to be like slippers.
Yeah, okay, right, so I've got my current shoes with, well, it's not these ones, it's these ones, with the cleats in the position that I like, or that doesn't cause me any problems. So how do we get that to there when the different shoes?
Need you to put those on first.
Okay.
Are you keeping those shoes?
I didn't know you did part exchange.
No, I'm going to draw on them with Sharpie. I use chalk markers, right, I use this.
Dan's trying to not look impressed that I've got custom moulded insoles for comfort.
I can't condone those.
Stink. Absolutely. Woo! Oh, put them on.
I'm just loving the fact that you took your laces.
You never know when somebody wants to have a race. Now, Dan, I don't want this video to come across like a massive advert, but you only stock Lake shoes. Why do you only stock Lake shoes, and is it because they pay you 100 grand a year?
Yeah, I wish. The reason we only stock Lakes is because as a brand, they do not only just do half sizes and widths and different uppers, laces, boas, they even do shoes for people with bunions and things like that. But they also do different shapes of shoe, and this is why we've really gone for this shape of shoe for you, because not every brand or any brand will give you options of shape. Yep. Most of the last molds are all the same mold or same shape across all of their models. So Giro, for example, that shape of shoe is going to be the same across every model. So in bike fitting, when you're working with lots of different people, hundreds of cyclists who all have different shaped feet, to be able to offer them a shoe that is the perfect shape for them is a really good problem solver. So whether they've got foot pain or not, if they're just looking for more stability, to be able to stock one brand and offer multiple different shapes of shoe is a massive bonus. So yeah, they're just great.
Yeah, wicked.
So the first thing I want to do is find where the head of your fifth metatarsal is in these shoes, and we're going to use this point and replicate it on your new shoes, so that when we set the setback of the cleat, we can get that in the same spot in relation to your foot.
And that is exactly where I'll get the foot pain.
Yeah, because in these you can see your foot's like bulging over the edge of the sole of the shoe.
So powerful.
Okay, you can take them off now. So I'll just translate that down to the sole of the shoe. So next thing, when you've marked up where your fifth metatarsal sits in relation to the sole of the shoe, then you want to get one of these tools. Link in the description down below, ukbikefit.com/shop. Get one of these tools.
Right, we'll call it evens on Chris's cost then.
Thought it was loose then. It's just a bit of mud falling off on my table. So that plugs into there, and then we can look here and see how many millimeters in front of your fifth metatarsal the centre of the cleat is. So that is 7 on the right.
Oh, this is going to be a different number, isn't it?
Hope not.
I think I might have replaced these once or twice since you fitted them. Please be 7. What's the accepted area of margin here? Like 2 mil?
0. And also, if your cleats are really really worn and don't fit in the tool, then you've got bigger problems.
We don't swear on my channel either. Is Chris going to edit this as well? Chris, you edit this video.
Change your cleats before they get to that stage.
Okay.
5.
Should we go for 6 then, in the middle?
No, I'm replicating this. I'm not changing anything. When you bring your new bike in for a fit, we'll deal with this.
Liz, there's no new bike.
And then the other thing we want to replicate is the cleat rotation.
Yeah.
So on this tool, I'm going to use the centre of the heel cup on this grid box and mark how many grid marks along we are, which is 0.5 on the left.
Yeah, and that's really important to have set up right, isn't it? Not just for your knee tracking, but also whether your heel's clipping the frame or not, and how much movement it has each way. So I do pay and I'm a bit nonchalant with this, but I do pay particular attention to that to make sure that when I'm riding, if I swap the cleats, I'm not sitting up against the maximum on either side. I'm able to move either way. These cleats are 6 degree afloat, aren't they? So I'm pretty sure that is all right.
But yeah, the cleat rotation is probably the biggest thing that causes knee pain if it's out. That one is. And it doesn't have to be. So this doesn't have to be symmetrical because it's set up for each foot and each knee. So, and then the last thing we need to make sure we get right is the lateral movement on the foot. So this cleat is in the centre, as is that cleat. So 0 for both of those as well. Right.
So these things people can buy and do at home essentially, but if they come and if they buy lake shoes from you, is this part of the deal? Do they get to come?
We'll swap the cleats for free, and
and you get to come and put some mud on Dan's table as well, which is worth every penny, I can assure you.
So I'm just going to put the cleats on in any position first.
Sorry, an electric screwdriver.
Look after my wrists.
In terms of adjustment on the shoes, then you've got the adjustment that the cleats allow you with the bolts. There's also some moving bits on the foot plate of the shoe, right?
Yeah. So there's the adjustment in the cleat.
Yeah.
And then that bit of extra is the cleat track. So always recommended to get some shoes with an adjustable cleat track because it just gives you that bit more freedom in cleat position.
Yeah. If somebody's fitting these at home and they haven't got, they can't come to a bike fitter, what's the safe option if you're fitting new cleats to your shoe?
It's really hard for me to say this, but it's very general advice, is that the further back the cleat, the less risky it is, I suppose. So if you can't see anyone or can't just get a tool. Yeah. Like, it only costs about £10, I think. Just get a tool, and at least then you're going to be ballpark, even if it's slightly out.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I suppose the further back it is, the less risky it is. If your cleat's right up around your toes, it often causes more problems than it would as if you had it too far back. So.
Yeah. There's a really nice rubber, like grippy bit on the inside of these heels.
Yeah.
Is it just on these, or is it on the other ones as well?
Those in another model, so it stops your heel from slipping.
Yeah, they do feel. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do exactly the same.
Yep.
You see how your foot's not bulging over the edge of the shoe?
Yeah.
It's nice and smooth.
I mean, when I put these on, I think, God, these are holding my feet. I'm secure. Whereas these feel now like sloppy, but actually what holding your feet does is causes pain.
When you...
I'm drawing my new shoes for.
It's like if you just stand up and walk, your feet need to spread out to be able to put pressure through the floor naturally. So if they can't do that, and when you're pedaling, you're putting pressure through your feet, your foot needs to splay a little bit. So if it's already feeling locked in from the sides before you've even started putting pressure or power through the pedals, when your foot wants to splay, it's just not going to be able to do that, and it's going to cause compression.
Which is why that comes on after a period of time then.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it, okay. I feel like I'm in a shoe shop. You know, you tried new trainers on, you have to like run up and down to see what they feel like.
Yeah. This thing, like when we're trying shoes on with people and they put them straight on and they have a little walk up and down, it's like, oh, the heel's slopping out. It's like, well, yeah, because you're on a carbon sole. When your foot wants to bend, the shoe isn't bending. Yeah.
It's slipping around on the floor. Okay.
So if you're walking in cycling shoes, your heel should move a little bit.
Right. We spent quite a bit of time walking in cycling shoes in the Canary Islands, didn't we, Dan?
Well, one of us did.
So now you're using that same measurement distance from 5th metatarsal. Got it.
Just to get the set back right.
Yeah.
Just going to loosen the screws off a little bit so we can adjust it whilst it's in this tool.
Ah, perfect, the hole on the bottom. Yeah.
Which is nice.
Thanks very much, appreciate it.
No worries. You just need some new insoles now.
I knew there'd be a upsell somewhere. These, I think, well, not just specifically these brand, but like having custom insoles, I think, is the best thing you can do for cycling. But if somebody asks me, oh, what's the best thing you bought? I'd never remember it, because you don't remember them because they just work and they're just there and it just feels nice. And you say, oh, my wheels or my whatever, these are the best things.
Yeah, 100%. I say that all the time when someone's put some insoles in someone's shoes and they get on the bike. After a bit of pedaling, 10 minutes or so, you should forget you've got insoles in. Yeah. Because they should feel very natural.
It comes across like, oh, you're just trying to sell some insoles. Like when you buy a car, oh, do you want the paint protection or the whatever? Genuinely, these make a massive difference.
Yeah. It's one of those, it's obviously the most important, the contact between the foot and the pedal is the most important thing from a fit point of view. And the biggest thing that's contacting the foot is the insole of the shoe. So you can get massive benefits from increasing that contact under the foot via an insole.
Yeah, I've talked to some people that say, oh, I got a sore under the arch of my foot or whatever. I never have any trouble with actual friction or anything because
they're solid, and then these are like not, and this is what comes with every shoe, it's just a bit of foam. So every time your foot wants to press against that, it's just going to collapse.
Yeah, it comes down to your foot structure as well. I think I've got quite high arches. When I go for running shoe fittings, people, the running shop says, oh, you've got, so you need some support, otherwise they're falling in. So then it makes sense to get the same sort of thing for cycling, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can tell you've got high arches by these. They're absolutely huge. So these insoles, these are ones that we sell in the studio. These are custom moldable insoles from Jibayamized. So solid arch support, like they don't give at all, these ones. The other insoles we sell, which are G8s, are more of a suspension-based insole, but these are a solid arch support. So these are great for people whose arches collapse or need that extra bit of support in the shoe. To heat mold them, we're just putting them in the oven. So you can do this at home. 80 degrees for 90 seconds is the recipe, but just keep checking them basically until they're a little bit pliable. And then if you need to stand on them and mold them specifically with your fingers, you can do that, or if you've got a friend that can do that for you, or put them in the shoe and then just do a little bit of light pedaling whilst they're still warm and pliable, and they'll sit close to your arch when they're under pressure. So if it's burning, tell me.
That's right.
Okay, and then take off. That's it.
So we said the out-the-box shape is actually very similar to what my current insoles were, but I do have quite a high arch identified by what running shoes I've run in as well. So they do need to be like fairly like moulded to my feet, so Dan was just pushing them up against my foot so that when they're cool in the shape of my foot. Is that good enough, Dan?
That one's done.
Gimized are going to be employing me soon with a plug like that. So you've not needed to trim those at all because they're like exactly the same size as the stock insoles, but in other cases you just trim them to be the same size, right?
That's it. So these were 47 to 48, so if these shoes were 47 we'd need to trim them, right?
Yeah. See, everything I do, Dan, I'm thinking about how can I make this as least work for you?
Just stay at home.
Yes, I'll take them. I mean, the test is when you've ridden for a while, isn't it? But they certainly feel comfier. I can absolutely feel that they're wider, so I hope that's going to alleviate said foot pain, but it'll be a while till I'm riding long enough to really test that. But yeah, I think they're pretty cool, pretty smart, I think, and hopefully enjoy many more miles to come. Thanks very much, Dan. Appreciate it.
No worries.